Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner. As you can see here, I've got for you guys a deck profile, and it'll be on Hieratics. In particular, which is what I'm running at this moment. I'll go over the deck list, then mention some combos and just some explanations. And yeah, let's just get on to this, shall we? I've got 3 Hieratic Dragon of Tefnut, 3 Hieratic Dragon of Su, 3 Hieratic Dragon of Aset, 1 Wattail Dragon, 1 Luster Dragon number 2, 2 Red Ice Darkness Metal Dragon, 3 Tour Guide from the Underworld, 1 Sangan, 1 Honest, 3 Effect Veiler, Gores, Light Pulsar Dragon, Black Luster Soldier, Envoy at the beginning, 3 Convocation, 3 Duality, 3 MST, 3 Enemy Controller, Book of Moon, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, and then for the extra deck I've got 3 Attuned, 2 Gaia Dragon, 1 Force Focus, 1 Excavabeetle, 1 Strike Bouncer, 1 Acid Golem, 1 Leviathan Dragon, 1 Giga Brilliant, and then for Synchros, 1 Ancient Sacred Wyvern, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Exploder Dragon Wing, and 1 Groundneck Dragon of Ice Barrier. So there are a couple standout things about this deck. 1, there are no card Ds, because I just wanted to test a build that didn't run them, and that was something I got a lot of requests on. Hey, Blue or Obelisk TGS, whichever one, do you know if there's a good Hieratic deck profile that doesn't run card D? This is it's fairly common, and you can build them without it, although I will admit this card is stupid good in here. But if you can't get card D, then there are alternatives. This is just one of the ones. You can also run Deep Sea Diva as an additional means of synchroing, because you can go Tefnut, sack it off for Sue, get a vanilla, then summon Diva, make 2 Stardusts, crazy shit like that. And there's also emergency teleport or supervise and such forth. But I just found tour guides to be a nice alternative because, well, having access to rank 3s in the TCG is so good because we have amazing things. We've got Zen Mains, Leviair. I didn't run Zen Mains in here because I don't have it, but the rank 3s I have in here are still fairly good. Leviathan is a 2500 beater. Giga Brilliant makes your Chaos Monsters alive. Acid Golem solves any threat short of whatever is 3000 plus. So she's very, very, very good in here. Furthermore, because I got these additional darks, my Chaos Monsters are now more playable. I'm only running 2, which is a Light Pulsar Dragon. It's a nice tech. You can special summon it with Attuned, and then you can do the Light Pulsar Darkness Metal Dragon loop thing. And then you've got BLS because it's just so good. Admittedly, though, he's not a cheap card for some people, so if you don't have BLS, then Chaos Sorcerer also somewhat works. He is a level 6, so you could drop the Sork and then overlay it with your Hieratics and make Strike Bouncer and just sit on that. But BLS is just stupid good because he's compatible with Honest, and your opponent is going to be wasting a lot of their outs to stop your Heretic combos, so that when you do drop BLS, it's almost always GG. Now, as for the Heretic line myself, I'm only running Tefnut, Su, and Aset. There is no Nabdet. And a less dedicated build like this to just going off for that OTK, I find that Nabdet is just not as good. It's useful in like a pure build, like the ones that just run card Ds, Tragos, and such forth, but yeah, I just didn't like that in here, and I didn't really feel the need to get to rank 5, so I just cut it out, and I don't really miss it. Honest, what can I say? It's a stupid Saki card and a stupid Saki deck. I don't know how many times I summoned Tour Guide, summoned Sangan, and then just sat on that because I've got Econ, and when my opponent summons a monster and beats over my Tour Guide, I'm like, what do I do? I'll let the attack go through more often than not, but then on my next turn, I summon a set, sack it off for Su, and they're like bottomless trap hole. I'm like, enemy controller my Su, or enemy controller my Sangan, blah, blah. Needless to say, though, Sangan searches out good stuff. Econ is just stupid with these things. They try and do stuff for your Su or your Tefnut and whatnot. You just Econ, take their monster, get a vanilla. It's just so good. I almost want to run Alexandrite Dragon in the deck for those many times I swipe a level 4, such as T-King and whatnot. Sealed, Pot of Duality, and MST, fairly understandable. These things search, get you to your combo pieces. This blows up back row. These are just your basic staple cards. And then, let's see. Just a couple other quick notes. Force Focus. It's actually a lot better than I gave it credit for. Admittedly, haven't used it a whole lot, but it is a 2800, so it gets over Strike Bouncer. And another fun thing I learned was that when, say, Insector Dragonfly or Centipede are equipped with a Hornet, their level becomes 6, and because this guy can negate continuous effects the moment you get to, you can activate his effect when a Dragonfly is equipped with a Hornet, and she's negated for that whole turn. So even though the Hornet will pop and blow up your stuff, that Dragonfly ain't summoning anything. So that was a neat thing to learn. Strike Bouncer just wins games. He is integral to getting a victory against the Insector matchup. Between him and 3 Veiler, you have a very, very good opportunity to just shut down their stuff. And yes, they can OTK, but you can OTK them faster. And more or less, game 1, you have a very, very, very good chance to beat Insectors. And then games 2 and 3, you can side into Macro and Shadow Mirror and just MST their decrees, and it's all good. So Insectors are your really good matchup. Your bad matchup at this point, I would say, is Rabbit, because if they set Logia plus multiple back row, or worse yet, Dolka plus multiple back row, and you can't clear them, you lose. Chaos Dragons are up in the air. It depends on who gets the better hand first. If they open Future Fusion, then shit sucks, but more or less, though, you can kill them much faster than they can kill you. All it takes is just a Tefnut, a Sue, and a Darkness Smell in your hand, and provided they don't have Gores or Veiler, you win. And then games 2 and 3, side into Macro, side into Quackamaru Drago, and yeah, it just kind of goes from there. The other interesting fact, Synchros. That's right, I'm running Synchros in this deck, and you know what? I made them. I didn't make Brionek, but I made each one of these as of late. This guy is basically Veiler plus Tefnut, Veiler plus Tefnut, Veiler plus Tefnut. And for what they do, they're very helpful. You get one big swing in with one of your Heretic monsters, this guy just becomes so big that he'll win games on his own. Black Rose resets the field, which was very, very, very good. A lot of people just don't really have that sudden response to a Black Rose, and then they lose their field, and you just kind of go off on your next turn and whatnot. And then Exploder Dragon Wing, he's there for when your opponent summons a stall-type monster or something you don't want to deal with, like I have Justice Catastor. You just attack the Catastor, blow it up, they take damage. Very nice means of monster removal when you don't have an effect ready to go. And it's another Dark, so like Pulsar Dragon can revive it. And then Brionek is just Brionek. So that is pretty much how the Heretic deck profile is looking at this point. I know you guys have been wanting to see this for a long time. The other Heretic deck is one of my most popular videos I've ever made between both of my channels, so I know you guys really enjoy Heretic content, and I will try to get more to it, because there are some more things about these guys I want to talk about, in particular OTK combos without Gustav Max, because this deck can still OTK without Gustav Max. It requires Darkness Metal and X number of Heretics in your hand, but that is for another video. And after this, I admit though, I am probably going to take this deck apart a little bit and start trying to like fit in some other cards. I want to play around with these some more, Tragos, whatnot, a little more traditional Heretic. But again, this is just one of the ways you can take these guys. The way I see it is Heretics are a deck much like Disaster Dragon, in the sense that you can build them in a bunch of ways. You can try and build stun, control, skill drain, teleport, Gemini spam, tour guides, and whatnot. It just comes down to a player preference. I like the more OTK hammy type builds, so I'm probably gonna like just go traditional, but I know you guys would really like to see just something that doesn't run these guys. Although admittedly though, this thing is really integral to how this deck handles some matchups. I'm not gonna lie, a Strike Bouncer wins games, and so does this guy. This guy, if your opponent can't get rid of it, they're like done in 4 turns, because you're just going to be hitting them for massive damage, and Trample is huge against the likes of Sangan and Reaper. And then there's just a Tomb. Good old Tomb. Thank goodness you're only like a $20 card. Thank goodness like most of the Heretic cards are fairly inexpensive. It's just some stuff. But either way though, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Keep tuned for more Heretic content. I will try and get to the other stuff as soon as I can. Thank you all for watching. Until the next time, take care.